Okay, I'm Tim Pollard from Car Magazine, and I'm joined by Jean-Louis Baldanza, product specialist from Mclaren, and we're in the 12C. This is the first time I've driven the car. I'm about to be a very lucky boy and tell you what the car's like. But while I've got you, Jean-Louis, tell us a bit about how the 12C launch has gone so far. How many orders have you taken?
Our order banks in Europe, particularly, and in the US, are looking incredibly strong. The UK, I believe, is sold out for a few years already. We've recently launched in Asia Pacific just in the last month. I think we had our initial Tier 1 event in Hong Kong, and that's gone down extremely well as well. I think we've already sold out the first year's allocation in Asia as well. So it's all looking very, very positive. I think the product, when you work with such a strong product with, let's say, the true core value, it makes a launch and selling a car like this a little bit easier than it would otherwise be.
And tell me, the UK list price for the 12C is what?
It's £168,500, which is taxed, which positions us in what we call a core segment versus sort of competitors like the 458 Italia and Lamborghini Superleggera.
Okay, and I know the car we're in is sort of somewhat north of 200k. What are people ordering on the cars? What's proving popular?
So what we've done is the standard content in the car. Let's say the basic price of the car gives you all the performance technology you'd actually need. So we have the carbon monocell, the standard, the real central focus part of the car. This revolutionary proactive suspension system, which gives you the possibility to vary the roll and incredible ride comfort, but also handling on track, which is unseen, and also the air brake. So we have certain content which comes with the car. However, we have given the possibility to our customers to upgrade various aspects, cosmetic things, carbon fibre exterior, interior components, forged wheels, different alloy wheels designs. Carbon ceramic brakes are an option, quite an expensive option, but that's for the real true sort of enthusiast who wants to take the car on track and benefit from fade-free performance over lap after lap after lap. But yes, we've given the customer a lot of choice, a lot of options, interior trim, everything they could possibly want.
Okay, and you're going to build these cars in a new factory, which we're about to drive back to the Technology Centre. How's that coming on? Is that nearly finished?
So yes, absolutely. The new factory is another, let's say, Mclaren challenge. I think when we were deciding where to build this car, we had various possibilities, various options, and we decided to actually build a car in a new factory, build a factory to build the car right next to the existing location at Mclaren Technology Centre. The footprint of the factory is not dissimilar to what the Mclaren Technology Centre already is, so it's a huge project, and I think having only kicked off just over a year ago, we've completed more or less the infrastructure building, is all up. It's now a case of moving things across in the next few months and starting to production.
And will all future products be built in this new factory, or will some still be built at the Technology Centre?
I think the strategy very much is that the factory is designed to cope with a production volume of all the future models that we intend to produce. The current facility, obviously, we still have certain possibilities for. I'm not entirely sure what the current strategy is. I imagine the strategy is to use the factory for building all our future cars.
And I don't know how much you can tell me about this, but how long do we have to wait until we hear the next new model from McLaren?
I think, launching a new car company, it's obviously not a one model. We've talked about future volumes, and you obviously have to keep the interest of the products coming and all the news. So we have a very nicely planned market phase and launch of various products. So certainly in the near future there will be something.
And remind me of what's the volume level that Ron Dennis has talked about? It's several thousand cars a year by the time you're all up and running.
So yes, we start with the 12C, which is obviously the car we're in now, which will be more or less 1,000 units a year. By the time we're in full-scale production, I think our peak volumes in 2015-16 are planned to be around 4,000, 4,500, something like that. So it's still keep ourselves niche and offer a product which is relatively exclusive, but getting into, let's say, progressing from where we once were, which is producing very low-volume cars, to actually becoming a full low-volume sports car.
Indeed. Okay, we're going to sort of get on the road when there's a gap in the traffic and head back to the Technology Centre. Tell me, while we're waiting, have we actually had any buyers of the 12C who owned an F1 as well?
Yes, I think we have a few who have F1s or certainly owned F1s in the past. I think it's something they've been possibly crying for. The F1 is now such an object of desire that I think even some of the owners don't use them as much as they perhaps would. This car is certainly a more usable proposition, something that an F1 owner will appreciate the technology, the advancement in technology like the F1 did in its time, but very much packaged in a more usable car, so something they can use every day.
I mean, I've only driven this the 12C for a few minutes, but it feels to me as if the performance can't be that far off the F1's.
I think performance is very much, obviously we talk about lightweight, and the F1 is a very, very light car with an extremely good horsepower to weight ratio, but advancements in technology since the F1, whether it be your dual clutch gearboxes, tyre compounds, brake compounds, means the general performance envelope of the car is comparable. I think the outright top speed of the F1 is obviously undisputed at 240 miles an hour, but I imagine if you were to do a back-to-back test, it may be surprising.
Sure. Now, where are people going to buy this? Is this car going to be most popular in Europe, America, Asia? Bit of an even split. Where's the market for it?
So obviously, again, one of the challenges we gave ourselves was to launch a global car all in one, more or less one go. So we've gone with, I think we have 35 dealers in 17 countries globally, all full. We've got Asia Pacific, Americas, and Europe, and then Middle East and Africa. What we're seeing is our volumes are very much, for this kind of car, the US is the key market, followed not by much by the UK, Germany, and some of the European markets. Asia Pacific has a lot of potential. It's a slower, we've only just launched there, as I mentioned, so the main volume split at the moment is still Europe, America, but certainly Germany, UK, and US.
And what are the owners who are coming to your showrooms and putting a deposit down? What are they coming out of? Are they people who probably own a Ferrari 458 Italia already? Am I going to buy one as well, or where are they coming from?
To be honest, I think they're coming from a wide range of customers, from people who've owned Porsches, Ferraris, even some people who still intend to own both, because the proposition of this car is slightly different. It's a car that you can use absolutely every day. It's spacious, it's comfortable, it's easy to drive, it's efficient, economical, relatively to use. So I'll be honest, I haven't seen the full data, but a lot of the people we're talking to, Porsche owners who appreciate this level of engineering and technology, are certainly people who we've managed to grab their attention.
Now, is Ron driving one? Has he got one as a company car?
I think Ron, I'm not sure. I think, let's say he definitely will be driving one.
Yes. Sure. And the F1 drivers, what about Jensen and Lewis?
Jensen and Lewis, I'm sure they're probably heavily negotiating to get their orders in very quickly.
Like maybe performance-related pay, maybe. But
perhaps. Certainly, what we've seen from them when they've driven the car, they absolutely love it. So it depends, I'm sure, where we can fit them in amongst the customers. So I'm sure they'll get at some point.
And tell us a little bit about what's fitted to this car. So we've got the ceramic brakes, which shave, I think you were saying, is it 10 kilos or 100
No. This car is a high-spec car, obviously. It's a marketing vehicle. It's actually a development vehicle. It's done a lot of durability. What we've got on this car is ceramic brakes, which don't actually add or save any weight at all. They're almost exactly the same weight. They just give you better fade performance under repeated heavy braking. Stopping distances are identical. I think we've seen 100 to 0 and 30.5 metres, and 200 to 0 and 123 metres, which is astonishing for standard brakes. This has a super lightweight wheel option that saves you 10 kilos over the cast standard wheel set, which is a lot of unsprung mass saved. We have various carbon options, all which save a little bit of weight here and there. You can actually save up to 5.8 kilos if you specify the correct carbon options. Has a full leather and Alcantara interior, which is very nicely spec'd. Alcantara headlining, carbon fibre interior options. And I don't think we've got the sport exhaust in this car, but that's obviously another option which gives you very slight weight saving, but generally it's made from Inconel, which is the same material we use on Formula 1 cars, and also the Mclaren F1. It's a very high resistant, heat resistant, but lightweight alloy. And
I know our readers on Car Online are really big on sort of lightweight. What is the curb weight of this car? Because it's pretty impressive.
Curb weight is, let's say, our optionally adjusted drive weight. So if how you measure these things, we've been very clear about the weights we present. The car is drained from all fluids, and we have the correct options. We can actually start just about getting to touching the 1300 mark, which is the target. You've got 1301, which is astonishing.
As a dry weight, yeah.
As a dry weight. The minute you add curb weight as the main fluids, which this car carries, it's got quite a small fuel tank, a small engine capacity, so less coolant fluids. I think we're touching around the curb weight of 13. I think I'm not sure actually, it's actually the spec sheet what we've gone with.
Okay.
1343 or something.
Well, here we come. We're coming into the Mclaren Technology Centre, which is a wonderful place. I've only been here once before. What's it like working here?
The Technology Centre is very much designed to be a place which inspires, let's say, a working environment that inspires people to innovate, freedom of expression, and it really is. It's easy to take for granted when you turn up here every day. It's a phenomenal working environment, clean, but you almost, I think the target of the place is very much 90% NASA, 10% Disney, so there's an element of fantasy. It is incredible.
I mean, we're coming along here, aren't we? We're about to go past the lake. You'll probably see a little bit without the camera's pointing the wrong way, so you won't, but you can see the new factory over there, which is nearly ready, you were saying?
Nearly ready, I think. As you can see, it looks more or less complete from the outside and the inside. It's been designed again in conjunction with Foster Partners, so it's very much linked to the style of the original building. The same, let's say, laboratory type interior of where the car is currently being built, the prototypes on the production line. That entire philosophy of build will be moved over on a larger scale to the MPC.
Right, and we're approaching the main building now, going past the lake. Which is Ron's office? Has he got one of the sort of prime ones here?
He's got one of the ones with the lake view, so...
Wonderful.
This one right there. You can actually see him in his office.
He's there in his office. There we go, Ron Dennis, the man responsible for the 12C. Well, John Louis, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for the brief test drive. I'm a lucky man who's now about to head off back to Car HQ, try it out properly, but thanks for your time.
Very welcome.
Cheers.
All right.